Have you ever had a really, really big vision or a really, really big dream, and you knew that you were going to go for it no matter what it cost you, no matter who said it can't be done, no matter what obstacles stood in your way? My name is Luca Brassy, and this is my story. My journey started from as young as I can remember. I was a pretty normal kid growing up, but always knew I was also really different. And you'll see that as we move on. Even though I was a one-man crew, I always felt pretty normal. But the path I chose and the life I live is anything but. When I was 2, I saw pro wrestling on TV for the first time, and I remember being in awe. From that day on, pro wrestling became a huge part of my life. Everything became wrestling. My parents didn't really mind too much as long as I didn't bring it home, but that didn't stop me from trying. Then when I was 4, my mom and dad split up, and I remember everything like it just happened yesterday. Things are always so different through the eyes of a child, and they see a lot more than the adults like to think, and it's usually a lot more devastating. Soon after, though, my mother met who I've always considered to be my dad, Andri. And one thing about my parents, they've always supported what I've done and respected me for going after what most people would say is impossible. Through the years, the only passion that ever remained constant for me was my love for pro wrestling. And I tried some other sports and things like that, but never really felt a passion for them. So fast forward to age 13 when I found out there was a wrestling center in my neighborhood. And I was disappointed when I walked in because it was amateur wrestling, but I remember when I saw the ring, I said to myself, I'm gonna be in there one day. And then when that day finally came, I never felt more at home in my life than the first time I stepped foot in the ring at age 13. I went home, I told my mom and dad I want to be a wrestler. And unlike most parents who would most likely in good conscience say no, they didn't. Instead, my dad made me a deal. And he said if I kept on doing what I had to do in school, he would get me in the ring. And he did. And within a year, I was running the junior program at the facility. I was 14. Then in time, we moved on, and we opened our own wrestling school in Schenectady, New York, 24/7 wrestling productions. And that was a dream come true. I remember at this point, my dad said to me, you know, I remember that deal we made. You held up your end, so I had to hold up mine. After a while, though, it all stopped being fun. I didn't really enjoy it. My attitude changed, and I started just to get real unhappy. I was too young then to understand why I loved the business so much that kept on trying to hurt me. Some of the things that happened to me and my family never should have, and the day we decided to close our doors was the first time I ever saw my dad cry. I understand now why, though. I love business to this day. It's simple. It's a passion. Even though I lost a close friend to the business, lost my school, lost everything I stood for, I continue to love and respect the business even now. Anyway, by this time I was about 18 and I was pretty angry. Everything I loved was just gone out of nowhere. I had no direction, no ambition, no love, no passion. I was destroyed. Then one night I remember I bought a few hip-hop CDs for no real reason. Pac, M, and Nas. I didn't know nothing about music, let alone hip-hop. But something told me to listen and listen good, so I did. And that's when my life changed. I saw past the persona, past the image, past the verbiage. What I saw from these guys was passion, pain, anger, intensity, drive, ambition. And a willingness to fight to the end for what they believed in. Everything I saw in myself, I guess. Looking back now, I think that's what I really fell in love with music, is the artistic release of the inner self. That which cannot be said, but is impossible to be kept silent. So what did I do? I picked up the pen, and I channeled everything I had into the writing and into the music. I had to self-teach everything I know about the music industry, from writing to copyrights, contracts, performing. But I found my new passion, and if I hadn't, who knows what I'd be doing. And soon after I started the writing process, I met my producer, Jay Green. And I remember stepping on an elevator in college and overhearing him talking about a mixtape he just helped someone release. So me being who I am, when that opportunity presented itself, I didn't really knock on the door, I sort of kicked it down. And I asked who he was, and I remember clear as day, I'm Jay Green. And 2 weeks later, I was in the studio for the first time. I was 19. And I'll never forget when I first got there, I remember going in to check the place out, and he looked at me and said, "Step in the booth." And when I did, it was like being back in the ring again. I never thought I'd have that. And this time, no one could take it from me. Music was already inside of me, and it's something that's mine forever. I will say though, listening now to my old records, I can't believe he ever let me come back. But in time, I became Luca Brassy. So, who is Luca Brassy? Luca Brassy is the all-American boy. I represent the American dream. Whether it's in a suit, one of his crazy stage outfits, shirtless, his purpose never changes. It's beyond the music, beyond the camera, it's beyond the lighted stage. I am each and every one of you. There's a Luca Brassy in everyone. I don't represent gifts, ego, lies, or manipulation. I represent success, fun, and the best things in life through hard work, dedication, optimism, and the desire to always be better. I am the American dream, and I have a purpose. I send out a pretty wholesome message, one way or another, and in the end, the real message will be shown. In the meantime, I love my family, my friends, my fans, and even my haters for what they do for me. You motivate me to just go one more round and not throw in that towel, and always strive to be number one. So, I already got the man upstairs in my back pocket. So what am I doing besides delivering our message, right? Truth is, I don't even know. Anything my heart desires in this lifetime, I guess. Whatever that may be.